Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with my January favourites of 2016. I can't believe that we are already into February. I'm just going to sort of get straight into them, not really say much about it. These are products that you may have seen in my yearly favourites, but a lot of them are sort of fairly new products that I've been using for the last month or so. First products I want to talk about are skincare. The first one is the Botanics Hydrating Night Cream All Bright with Brightening Hibiscus. It's basically a brightening moisturiser that you apply to your skin and you allow it to soak in overnight, and then in the morning you have very bright luminous skin. I love this even though it's hydrating. If you're new to my channel, a little background about my skin is that it is oily. Sometimes it can be extremely oily, sometimes it can be more combination oily. But I really like using a moisturising night cream just to make sure that those combination areas stay hydrated. I get quite dry in this area here. So I do like to use a sort of hydrating moisturiser in the evening. This is, however, it is a hydrating night cream. I do find it hydrates my skin, but at the same time, I don't find that it makes my skin oily. I apply it and it seems to dry or set onto the skin. It's very hard to explain. Basically, it just doesn't feel really oily and heavy on your skin like a typical sort of hydrating night cream would. But this sort of absorbs completely into my skin and keeps my skin really matte. So I actually have been using this during the day as well sometimes, which is kind of unheard of because anything that says hydrating I tend to stick away from because I don't want my skin to get any oily. But because this kind of dries and set without making your skin feel really uncomfortable and tight, it just you can apply makeup so beautifully over the top of it. It's very similar, I find, to the Nivea Men post-shave balm. I find it very similar to that, so maybe there is some sort of glycerin or something. Another is the Body Shop Almond Hand and Nail Cream. My and Luke's friend got us a Christmas present, and it was a sort of joint Christmas present, but there were like presents for him and presents for me kind of. And she included this Body Shop Almond Hand and Nail Cream. This stuff is amazing. I'm going to apply it on my skin right now. I just keep forgetting to use it because I keep this in our living room and I tend to forget, and I'm normally not very good at remembering to moisturize my hands unless like I just add too much face cream and then I just use whatever's left over. But it smells so beautifully. It's such a really comforting smell. I just love it. But it makes your skin really soft. It absorbs into your skin. It doesn't really feel oily or greasy or anything on the skin. But you can tell your hands are moisturised, so they feel very soft and supple. I just really love it. And when I remember to apply it, it just changes my whole outlook on my hands. So the next one is again from the Body Shop. Again, I got it in the present from our friend. It is the Body Shop Lip Butter in the Cocoa formula, I believe. Looks like this. You've probably seen me use this. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you've probably seen me use this in quite a few tutorials as of late. It is so moisturising. I love applying this after I've washed my face, before bed, during the day. I just love applying this and it makes my lips so smooth. It literally just, as soon as you apply it to your lip, it just melts into your lip and creates a really gorgeous hydrated area. This has been a godsend since I received it at Christmas time. I have the Smashbox Camera Ready BB Cream. I love this stuff. I believe I included it in my yearly favourites video as well. I have really been liking applying this instead of a moisturiser and just add a little bit more concealer. So I'll go in with the Longwear concealer, which I'll talk about in a little while. But I like to just apply like just a little sort of pea-sized amount and then a pump of the Longwear, mix them together and then apply it all over my face. It just conceals everything. It just makes your skin look flawless. It just gives you that little bit. It's still moisturising and acts like a moisturiser, but it gives you that coverage that if you don't want to apply a ton of products to your face every day, this is like a really good way. Now, I don't wear makeup every day. Some days or some weeks I can go a whole week without putting anything on my face apart from the skincare. So this has been really nice just to add that little bit more coverage with a concealer, and just on those days where I just want to look a little bit put together, so have my brows done, have a little bit of powder on my face, those kind of days when you feel like you're going to go out shopping or you're going to see someone that you know. This is what I've really been liking using. And then, like I said, I've got a couple of concealers. The Pro Longwear concealer, I said that I love mixing that in with that product. This is in the shade NW20, so this is a darker shade than the one that I normally use. This is my skin tone, so it's really good to apply all over my face or to apply on blemishes or redness on my skin to help blend in to the concealer rather than highlighting it. I also like applying this underneath my eyes before I apply a highlighting concealer. I just find that I'm sort of a warm skin tone, so more of like that orangey tan shade, applied first really helps hide those dark circles without going in with a ton of orange concealers and stuff. So I really like using my skin toned shade first, and then I will go in with the Naked Skin concealer. It looks like it's nearly like running out, like I can see through the product and stuff, but I don't think I've used that much of it, but apparently I have. So I love this stuff. It is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This is in the shade Fair Neutral. It is an amazing highlighting concealer shade. On days where I just want to apply a little bit of makeup, I'll just pop this underneath my eyes, blend it in with my finger, and then I'm good to go. But I do really like using these in combination together, so I really pat this and set this into my skin first with little tapping motions with my ring finger, and then I will go in with a Naked Skin concealer and again tap that until it sets, and then I will set it all with powder. But I've really been loving that combination of products. I have a couple of lid primers. One is the Freedom Pro Eye Primer. It looks like this. You've probably seen this in quite a few tutorials as of late. It is a fairly cheap product. I think it was about £2.50 when I picked it up, and I got it from my local Superdrug. It is tinted. It is that sort of skin toned colour, so rather than having to go in with an eye primer and then go in with like a concealer to help conceal. But what I like most about this product is it is so ridiculously cheap and it works so well. I, like I said earlier, have really oily skin, so my eyelids get very oily as well, and my eyeshadows can crease if I don't use an eye primer. I love this stuff. It does not crease, it does not budge, it is just perfect. And then the other one is the Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer. Best friend got me this for Christmas. It was like a little sample kit of all different Smashbox products. This is a lot more pigmented than the Freedom, and it is more of a warm tone shade. It is really good because you don't have to use two different primers to conceal and one to prime your eyelids. So I do really like this product, and again it makes my eyeshadows last all day. So in 2015 my brows went through a bit of a transformation. I started using the dip brow, I started using powders, I started using pencils. It was really sort of the year of the brow, I find. If you look back at like my first makeup tutorials I did not fill my eyebrows in whatsoever, and now they're like very structured. This combination that I'm about to talk about is extremely good, and it gives you a really nice natural and defined brow. It's very bold, which is what I'm kind of liking at the moment. But again, it's not bold as in it's painted on. It does look a bold, natural kind of brow. So the products I've been loving in conjunction are the Omega eyeshadow from M.A.C. It's just a really light, cool brown shade. I use this as a transition crease colour as well, but I love it in my brows. It does come out a lot warmer when you do apply it to your eyebrows, but it does look quite cool toned. And then I have the Archery Blondeshell pencil from Soap and Glory. These products together, what I like to do is I like to brush my hairs so that all the brow hairs like standing in the position that I want them to be. I then go in with an angled brush and the Omega shade and fill them in and sort of start mapping out the shape that I want. When I've got some colour down, I will then go in with the Archery brow pencil and really define that shape, really define that outline that I want, that template. And then if I want to blend and also set the pencil, I will then go back in with the Omega shade. So especially at my sort of arch, I don't get as many hairs grow there. So I was finding that I would apply the pencil and it would wear off throughout the day. But setting it and going back in with the Omega shade and just going over the product defines it even more and just makes it really nice and bold and natural at the same time. But it just gives a really gorgeous sort of gradient yet intense look, I guess. And yeah, so I tend to use just powder at the front to get a sort of more natural look at the front, and then more pencil at the tail, but then obviously set it with the powder. I also find that defining my eyebrows with concealer, so if I applied my eyebrows first thing and then go in with concealer and then do the rest of my face, I find that my brows look a lot more defined. They look very sort of fresh out of the salon, like you've just had them threaded, you've just had them done. I do find that concealing them makes a huge difference as well. A product that I was obsessed with last year was the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper. Again, like I was saying about the eyeshadow, it is kind of warm tone. So if you like that sort of taupe grey shade eyebrow, then this is not the product for you. It's just a really nice product. I kind of like warmer brows because I do have warmer tones in my hair. But I just really like this product. It plumps my eyebrows because there are fibres in here, I believe. And it also sets my hair in position. I wouldn't say it's necessarily super glue for your brows. It's going to keep them in position all day. But it does really help to help define and fill in your brows. Okay, I've got a couple of new highlighting products. I have the MUA Highlight Shimmer Stick. Light Illuminating Highlighter Stick, and it doesn't have a shade on it, so I think it's just the only one. But it comes like this. It's kind of like a NARS multiple, and it is just such a gorgeous shade. I love this. You probably saw, if you've been watching my channel for a little while now, that I was using the Makeup Forever Uplight and applying that on the areas I wanted to highlight my skin first. And then I just went to my drugstore, my local chemist, the other day, saw that this was a new product and I picked it up. So I've had this for a good sort of 2 to 3 weeks, but as soon as I swatched it, I was like, that is beautiful. Like, it is just a really gorgeous luminous glow to the skin. If you want to see what this product looks like on my actual face, I have used it in a couple of recent tutorials, which will be linked below because I tend to link my most recent 4 videos. So they will all be in the down box below. And then I got the Sleek Makeup Highlighting Palette in the Midas Touch for Christmas. This was a present from Luke's mum and dad, and I just think it's such gorgeous shades. They're just so pigmented and so beautifully shimmery. I don't know if it's even going to pick up. There we go. It's just such a beautiful shimmer. It's probably not quite as creamy as the Anastasia Beverly Hills. They are kind of like butter and they don't really feel quite powdery. These feel a little bit powdery. I really like the colour selection, and there's nothing that's like really sort of chunky or glittery, but it's just a really nice palette and it gives you a nice selection. This is a cream product as well. It's like a silvery cream. So, you know, you can create some really stunning looks with it, and it's just a really nice palette that you can get from a drugstore or your local chemist. Okay, so I've got a couple more products to talk about. So let's talk about eyeshadow palettes. I have been loving one particular drugstore brand, and I did mention this in my yearly favourites, but the drugstore brand is Makeup Revolutions. Their eyeshadows are amazing. There's this palette which is called Eyes Like Angels, and those colours, and they are so pigmented. Like, it's just crazy how strong pigmented they are. That is the pink that I have got on my lower lash line today. They are just a really affordable makeup. I believe this was £8. I think these were £4, maybe £6. But they just have some really gorgeous colours. Like, they have this, which is the Electric Palette dupe. And the colours that you see in the palette are the colours that you're going to get on your eyes. And then I have a more neutral, which is the Girls on Film palette. But They're just so gorgeous. They're so buttery. They're not chalky whatsoever. They blend beautifully on the eye. I did a full drugstore makeup tutorial recently using this palette, the Eyes Like Angels palette. And they are just amazing quality, and they have definitely been a favourite for the past month and probably the past 3 months, to be perfectly honest with you. They are just a really great quality product for a really cheap price. While I'm still on eyes, I have a couple of false eyelashes. They're both from Red Cherry. They're very similar. As you can see, they're kind of more spiky. One of them is probably a little bit more wispy and longer than these ones. But they're very similar. Although they're quite spiky, they aren't overly long and they don't look like you 100% have got false eyelashes on. Like some false eyelashes you can tell from a mile away that you have got false eyelashes on. These just really define the eye without being OTT. I have them in number 62, which is called GG. And the sort of longer, wispier ones are number 28 in the style Lottie. But they're just really good eyelashes. I have a ton of Red Cherry eyelashes and I've used these so many times and they are still good quality. I just need to clean like the glue off the bands, but you can reuse them so many times. And the best thing about Red Cherry lashes are I think they're about $2.99 and you can just get them and they're so cheap, and like I said, you can use them so many different times. Another product from the drugstore, this all seems to be fairly drugstory today. I have the Rimmel Stay On Lip Contouring Pencil in the shade Cappuccino, which is like a brown shade. Again, in that drugstore tutorial, I created a coffee brown lip and I used this shade. And then I also have the Exaggerate Full Colour Lip Liner in the shade Call Me Crazy, which is a really gorgeous orangey red because I've been really getting into my orangey reds of late. But I haven't tried the orange yet, but I've tried the cappuccino. They are so creamy and pigmented and they just glide on the skin without tugging. And they also stay on the skin. So I think they're about £4, $3.99 I think. So for a really good price point, and the fact that they last and the fact that they don't tug at your lips and skin, and they're not too creamy, but at the same time they're not too hard and harsh. Our sort of product is the Sally Hansen Instant Dry Top Coat. It looks like so. I used to always buy the Sachet Vite top coat. I swore by it even though it shrunk the nail polish on my nails. As soon as I applied it, like once they were completely dry, it would start peeling away. My nails are the kind of nails that if they don't have nail varnish on them, they are very fragile and they will just break. So as soon as my nail varnish starts wearing away at the tip or chipping, I have to reapply nail varnish, otherwise it's just gonna break. So, but this Insta-Dry is amazing. It's practically exactly the same as the Sachet Vite, apart from it doesn't shrink my nail varnish. It makes them dry, it makes them hard. Like, yes, I do chip my nails really easily. But this is a great, great product. It's really good, I find, to apply a base coat. So I apply OPO Nail Envy first of all, and then I apply a coat of this, allow it to dry, then apply the colour, and then apply another coat of this, and it lasts for a ridiculously long time. It kind of looks like a gel manicure and it just lasts a really long time. So I really love this nail varnish. Okay, so next I have some tools. So the first product is a present that I got for Christmas. It is the Vanity Planet Skin Spa, I believe. It's not the Spin Perfect Skin. It is the Skin Spa. So it comes with like an everyday bristle, a rubber bristle, and an exfoliating bristle. I love this. I use this every single day, morning and night. And yeah, I just absolutely love it. It hasn't broke my skin out. If anything, it's cleared my skin up and made it ridiculously soft. I tend to use this sort of everyday bristle all the time. I will use the rubber one for taking off stubborn makeup. So I'll apply like a makeup remover and get like most of it off my eyes and whatever. And if I've got some stubborn areas, then I will go in with that before then going in with the brush. I try and exfoliate my skin fairly often, so when I have like a shower, I'll exfoliate my skin and sometimes like my body as well. But it's just a really, really good product, and I think I found a discount code. I think it was Shannon Harris had a discount code, and I was like, Mum, I really want this product. Can you get it for me for Christmas? I think it was only about £8 maybe. Something like that, I'm not totally sure. It's a really great product, especially if you have problematic skin. I find it's cleared my skin up no end and just looks amazing. The next is the Anumi Octawand. I ordered this before Christmas and it came to me at the start of this month. And yeah, so it took about a month to get here, which isn't too bad seeing as it is from America. But I just really, really love this, and I've literally been using it so often. Today I have sort of really loose curls. I use the biggest barrel in here, and it's just so versatile. Like sometimes I'll use a small barrel and I get like a lot more curls. So that's probably why you've been seeing my hair a little bit more curly just recently, because I've actually got proper curlers now. But yeah, so I've just been really loving this. There's so many different styles I can create. As you can see, there are so many different wand styles. I've just been really, really loving that. So I think that is all of my favourites for January. It'll hopefully only be my favourites because I'm losing light, like the sun is setting. But yeah, so they were all of my favourites from January. I'm sure there's probably more that I've forgotten about, but those are the favourites that have stuck out in my mind and I've put aside each month. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, especially this one. If you haven't subscribed, then please subscribe. I upload videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes on a Wednesday. And I will talk to you all very, very soon.